Today, I want to take you to the world of viral TikTok relationship advice. As a trained psychiatrist, I will be your companion and we will gain valuable insight from watching these clips. I also want to assure you, if you watch this entire video, it will completely transform the way you handle your relationship with men. Let's watch the first clip.
Men fall in love with women's absence. Let me go ahead and explain. I mentioned in a previous video to not be clingy and why being clingy does not work. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you what to do to make a man miss you while you're absent. With whatever he's doing, most of the time, the men that we're attracting are hardworking men. And here's one thing that I don't want you to do. If he's being hardworking and he's spending time at work, don't nag that you miss him, that you want to spend time with him, or complain that he's not there.
This is overall a really good advice, and I wish I knew this in my younger years, like when I was a teenager or when I was in my 20s, and I would handle my relationships with men completely differently. I do agree with most of her advice. However, I don't agree that a man fall in love with your absence. I think a man fall in love with your absence as well as your presence, but you should give him a chance to miss you. If you are always very clingy, needy, and suffocating him and spending 24/7 with him, he will not have a chance to miss you and he would not know how great you are. Some absence is really needed for a healthy relationship and for him to miss you. And I really do agree with the part that nagging and complaining with men doesn't work. Actually, it backfires. It puts them in a defensive mode, or they become passive aggressive and do something completely opposite. If you want your husband or your boyfriend to do something that you want them to do, instead of nagging or complaining or pointing out things that he is not doing, openly tell him how you feel when he does those things. I'll give you an example. If your husband or your boyfriend is very hardworking and doesn't have that much time, and you want him to spend more time with you, and you want him to give you his full attention when he is with you instead of being on his phone or watching TV or playing video games, you can say, instead of saying, "You never spend time with me and you're always busy," say, "I love when we spend time together. When I'm with you, I feel like I'm in a different world. When you give me your full attention, it makes me so happy and I feel so connected and so close to you. I savor our times together." It will motivate him to spend more time with you and give you more attention, because most men love to make their women happy.
Your partner asks what's wrong, make sure you word it like this if you want to stay in your feminine energy. So a lot of times, us women, when something's wrong, we're very passive aggressive and we'll be like, nothing's wrong, it's okay, or I'm fine.
Again, this is really valuable advice, and I wish most girls know that, because us women have a tendency to become very passive aggressive and shut down when something doesn't go our way, or if our partner is not doing the things we want them to do, or if they irritate us. And when they ask us what's wrong, we usually say nothing or no. Instead of shutting your partner down, this is the time you need to be vulnerable and open. Again, I'll go back to my first piece of advice. Instead of becoming negative or complaining or nagging that you did this and you didn't do this, just tell them how you are feeling. You'll always do good if you just tell your husband, your boyfriend, how you are feeling, or any other person, even a friend, how their actions has impacted you. Instead of focusing on the action, just focus on how you are feeling because of that. By doing so, you are just opening up about how you are affected and why you are not feeling good, instead of complaining or blaming the other person. As soon as you blame the other person, they shut down. So instead of using you statements, use I statements. Just remember that. So I'll give you an example. Your boyfriend or your husband likes another girl's picture on Instagram and you don't like that, it makes you feel insecure. Instead of accusing him of doing these things and go on a tangent or become passive aggressive and not saying anything and then getting irritated or catching an attitude with him for several more days, it's not going to benefit you. Trust me, if you do what I'm telling you, will make you feel so much better. Just open up to him, be vulnerable, and tell him why you don't like him liking other girls' Instagram pictures. Say something like this: it makes me feel I'm not as beautiful. It makes me, when you like other girls' picture in Instagram, I feel less desirable. I feel less attractive. When I feel I'm desired by you, it makes me feel so connected and so close to you. So just focus on the positives and focus on how it makes you feel. This is the best you can do. And if still your partner continues to do things that you don't like, obviously then they are not the right person for you. Let's watch another very interesting clip from the same creator.
Next time the guy that you're dating or seeing or in a relationship with comes to you with a problem, this is the way you should answer if you want to stay in your feminine energy. So yesterday my guy calls me and he says, I have a bit of a problem. I feel like I lost $700 cash. I feel like it slipped out of my wallet and I can't find it anywhere. And right away, my masculine, logical mind was going to say, did you check your car? Did you check your drawers? Did you check, under your couch? Giving him solutions. But he's already masculine. He's already thinking solution based. So of course he's checked all those places. He just said, I've checked everywhere. So instead, what I said was, I feel like I've been with you and you've lost things before and you find it all the time. I know that you had a busy day, so you probably just misplaced it somewhere. Trying to calm him down and be sensible about it in a way not to have him, freak out and lose his mind because he just lost, $700 cash and it's annoying him. And 2 minutes later, he found it.
So this is really interesting advice. I've never thought of it this way. I don't know if you had helped your boyfriend or partner look for the cash, it would be anything negative. But I do know one thing. In a relationship, when a female is mostly in her feminine energy is free-flowing, receptive, more fluid, and masculine energy is more doing, competitive, taking charge. So whenever in a relationship, a female is in her feminine energy and a male is in his masculine energy, both of them are the happiest and relationship is the strongest. The next creator, I like her style and she is delivering message in a very interesting, funny way.
Here's the simplest dating advice you'll ever need in your life, but most of you won't listen because you guys like to argue and complain about stupid shit that is very easy to understand. That person that has inconsistent communication with you just doesn't like you that much. That person that ghosted you isn't a bad person. They just became uninterested or found someone else.
Okay, so I want to stop right there and share a few insights because this is a common misconception that if a person ghosted you, they are evil and they are bad. If someone ghosted you in the very early stages, like you went out after one date or you've been talking just for like a week or two and haven't met, or even if you go on 2 dates, it doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that they don't like to deal with conflict. It's not easy breaking someone's heart, okay? So, and it's not easy rejecting the other person. A lot of people don't want to deal with all that. So they take the easy way out, which is ghosting. It doesn't make them a bad person. If someone ghosted you, just let go and move on. It doesn't make you less desirable either. Everyone has different preferences.
Move on, find someone else to text you. If your partner cheated on you, leave them. And if you don't leave them, which most of you won't because most of you lack standards and self-respect, shut up about it, stop hanging it over their head, and learn how to work through it together. Or else.
So this is, again, very important piece of advice. So I've seen a lot of women stay with their man after they cheated, because they just, for some reason, they are just too connected, codependent. There can be a lot of reasons why they choose to stay with them. But if you do choose to stay with them, it is your decision. Take some accountability and take some responsibility. Them cheating is their decision. You could have leave them, but you decided to stay with them. So this is your decision. Don't keep complaining, nagging, blaming them in every argument you have after. Don't bring the cheating back. It's very toxic. If you plan to do that, just leave, okay? But if you are staying, get help. Go to counseling. If your partner doesn't want to go to counseling and you're staying with them, it is again your decision. Deal with it through counseling, through self-help, through other ways, and don't bring that cheating part in every argument, because it's you who has decided to stay with them.
If a man does not want to pay all your bills and wants to go 50-50, that doesn't make him a bum, that doesn't make him a bad guy, that doesn't make him a little boy. He's still a man. Just a man with different interests and goals in life. Go find you someone who will.
So she's just speaking gold here. I see so many women start to blame men when they just go 50-50, and when they don't want to pay their rent, their tuition, their makeup, their hair, their nails. It's about priorities. Some men, even though they are rich, they are making good money, they just don't want to. They have different priorities and different preferences. They are not the right man for you if you want them to pay 100% of your bills. However, there are certain women who don't care that much about it, and it doesn't make them less of a woman either if they are okay with contributing and building things together. So it's all about preferences. If your dating financial preferences don't align, just pick the other person. It doesn't make someone superior or inferior to other.
People in the world, I promise you can find one. That woman that wants all her bills paid doesn't make her a gold digger, doesn't make her a slut. Just go find you one that could do 50-50 with you.
Exactly.
You cannot attract the type of person you want if you are also not the person that they want. Get off the couch if you want a gym rat. Open up a fucking book if you want someone who reads books a lot. It's very simple.
Again, same thing. A lot of women are looking for rich, successful, billionaire, and they are just like, that's their goal. That's the only goal they have in life. It's great if it works for you, but my recommendation is, if you want someone very successful, focus on your success, your career, focus on thriving. If you focus on yourself and just level up and become a higher version of yourself, you will attract similar person. I've seen so many people who are very successful. They are together in a partnership, in marriage. Your biggest goal in life should not be finding a rich husband. You should have other goals for yourself, and a rich husband will come along. Trust me.
Aren't shit, your standards are. You attract what you are. So maybe it's time to do some self-reflection. Most men under 30 don't have their shit together, and that's okay. Stop letting social media fill up your head with these unrealistic standards.
Again, I will say that social media, especially TikTok, is giving women some very unrealistic, unattainable expectations. So if you are a 25-year-old girl out on a date with a 25-year-old man, he's not going to be rich, because obviously he is the same age as you, unless he has a very wealthy family. So just have realistic expectations, and if you are looking only for money, go for a much older guy. But again, I will explain why it's not a good idea if you are looking for a long-term fulfilling relationship or a partner who you want to grow a family with. This is the last clip.
So a lot of women want a man to be 6 foot minimum or over. They want tall. They've certain requirements about the physical build and how a man looks. Does he look good? Nice smile, attractive, tall, dark, and handsome. We've all heard it. But I'm here to tell you, when it comes to money, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I could not care less if that man is over 6 feet tall. If that man is giving me the money that I want, the money that I'm demanding, I don't care if he's 5'8", because that's the man for me. Height means nothing Nothing. And it shouldn't mean nothing to you either.
Okay, first of all, I have serious issues with calling someone dusty or broke. I know men have been saying words too that I have serious issues with, but we cannot start doing the same thing to men. A person can be struggling and can be trying hard. Like, you just don't know what they are going through. If they don't have a lot of money, that doesn't make them less of a person. I know this is a very unpopular opinion. On the other hand, I'm not saying you pick a broke man. Definitely not. You should not be doing it. When you have so many choices, why would you pick a broke man? At the same time, I am saying that do not pick a man solely on money. A lot of TikTokers, relationship gurus are promoting this pattern and this trend. But if you do that, you will be very unhappy later on in your life. Just look for money with meaning. You can have it. If you're a young girl who takes care of herself, you will have a lot of options. So you don't have to go for a 50-year-old guy who's going to be your sugar daddy. Because when you are 40, he'll be like 70 or 80. So you have to think long term. Pick a 30-year-old guy who's very ambitious, who is driven, and who's starting to make good money compared to someone who's much rich, much wealthier, but much older. So just be wise about choosing. Don't be that money hungry, because money is important. It does bring happiness, but after a certain level, it's all the same. If you're living in a 4-bedroom house, it will feel the same as if you're living in an 8-bedroom house. Trust me, I've lived in a really big mansion and I was the unhappiest at that time. So I know how it feels. A lot of money means nothing. I've lived with no money, with good money, and with a lot of money. I prefer good money. You should have enough money so you are comfortable. You are not on a budget. You are not on a month-to-month. Having that much money is great, but anything over that doesn't add any more value or happiness to your life. Okay, my beautiful viewers, I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.